Hey, what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. 3 in a row now. Oh, boy, the wheels have officially come off. And if I sound a little angsty and perhaps a little angry, well, have you watched this film? Because if you have, or if you will, or if you would subject yourself to such things, I don't know how you emerge on the other side in a good mood. This was bad. This is bad in so many ways. In fact, this is where it gets so ultimately confusing. Is one of the big talking points that's been bandied about after the game has been the kind of disparity between the score and the box score, which is crazy, right? Objectively insane. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe even more surprising to me, Jake, though, is how you got to that disparity because you never actually looked like the better team. Like normally in these sorts of games, I feel like, and we have a litany of errors to go through as to how you lose a game and maybe what you create a disparity like that. But normally it's like you feel like, okay, well, you kind of dominated, but then you find a way to lose. And that is true. That is true. But it didn't feel like you dominated. Like even watching it, I know you ran double the amount of plays, almost like over double the amount of TOP, but everything felt like pulling teeth. And it didn't get any better on film. And I'm sorry to you, Jake, that you had to sacrifice a nice weekend with the family to be in Gainesville, Florida, and have to call that train wreck of a game. I apologize to you on behalf of everyone.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was not great. And what an odd box score. You're right. And we'll break it down from every single angle. But the way that it reads, you're like, how in the world? You ran over 90 plays and you scored 16 points?
Never seen anything like it.
It's this tape until you just got through, watching it again. It's tough. It is a tough watch, and there's a lot of things to cover. There's a lot of things to kind of break down as far as like the depth of the team right now and where that sits, and just one injury and the chaos right now in this roster that it can create, and it certainly did. So I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like this box score compared to the actual score, being at the game flow. It was all over the place.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. I mean, if we wanted, I don't even quite know where to start, quite honestly.
All right. So I think most people understand this, but let's just quickly, because we've mentioned it a couple times already. Yeah. Total yards, LSU 382, Florida 339. Passing yards, LSU 262, Florida 226. Rushing yards, and again, you had 7 sacks. You gave up 7 sacks. You did not sack Florida, and you still won the rushing battle, 120 to 113. You won the penalty battle. You had 3. They had 7. You had 25 first downs. They had 13. You converted on third down 13 times. They converted 3. You converted on fourth down.
3 of 9.
Yes, you converted on fourth down, 2 of 4. They did not attempt a fourth down. Total plays, 92 to 43. 92 plays to 43.
Yeah.
Time of possession, 41 minutes and 43 seconds to 18 minutes and 17 seconds.
Let's call it 42 to 18. Nice and simple. Exactly. So that's a box score that you're supposed to win that game 100 times out of 100. And it wasn't in like you had a ton of turnovers, right? Now you had an actual turnover, and then you did have a turnover on downs, which maybe if you want to count, but it's okay. So how does that box score happen and then you lose? Let's go through the litany of errors. The fourth down jet sweep on the first drive was, I think, a poor call and poorly executed. You had the drop Devon Keys interception that later turns into a touchdown. It was a really good play from a freshman up until the pick part because he read it perfectly, got back in coverage, found the man. You had a bad snap that led to a missed field goal. You had an error when you're driving right before half. You end up tying it here, but you have a chance to score a touchdown, and on 1st and 10, you have an errant snap that creates a play that means nothing. You're down 3, moving the ball kills the momentum of the drive. In the second half, You had Kyron with the OPI when you did not need to make any contact. He was probably cooked even if you did nothing, but you just got to run by him. You're fine. That took away a touchdown. Sage Ryan dropped a pick in the third that would have taken 3 points off of the board. You have bad pocket presence from Nuss that led to the fumble, and Emory Jones going for glory fumbles it back to Florida, which is one of the, if you like dark humor, Emory Jones, how he got hit is hilarious. I mean, he got the end zone view is unreal. My man got high load.
Yeah.
He thought he was maybe going to get that 3rd and 6, and he got blown the hell up. So you fumble the ball, you give them back, and then the defense stands strong and holds up, and you go 3 and out because Mason Taylor stepped out of bounds. He didn't have to. When you're going down to try to tie the game with less than 8 minutes left, you have a false start. And then defense, according to what weeks after the game, and 2 separate calls on the touchdown run that ended the game when the defense comes up with a stop there. And the defense actually, I would say this, the defense I'm not upset with. They actually did I
was surprised by some of that narrative over the weekends. Like, defense, like no. If you're going to say one side of the ball need to step up more, is certainly the offense.
Defense definitely not perfect. And we'll get to DJ Lagway. He's really good. For him to do what he did with his arm and basically not having his legs, like what a moment for the young quarterback. But like the defense defended the traditional run game well. Yes, they lost some one-on-ones, a bit too many explosive plays. But overall, I thought the defense was pretty damn solid. Definitely played well enough to win. It was the offense's just complete inability to find a rhythm, to finish drives in the red zone, and really to protect the quarterback. The O-line was a disaster on Saturday. And in the end, you end up with a game where you have that box score and you lose by 11, which is the craziest part. You didn't just lose, but you lose by double digits with that box score.
Yeah, you mentioned the offensive line. I think this is a great example of how important it is to have 5 guys working in unison, because your tackles, they actually played pretty well.
Yeah.
Your tackles, pass protection, I thought they were super solid. Even in the run game, I thought this was maybe one of their best efforts of the year. But the interior, both guards in your center right now, I mean, the struggle bus doesn't even begin to describe what it is. It is like – I don't know that I've ever seen a difference from the 3 interior guys to the tackles and the pillars of your offensive line right now. And T-Bob, the thing that's frustrating when you watch film, it's not like, man, that's a crazy exotic game. That's down and around. He got caught. It's like, nope, just right up the A-gap, like lining up in the shade and just right now in the A-gap, and you're opening the gate. There's no strong inside hand presence. It is tough to watch because it's a very basic rush, or it's a very basic game on a run play. It's not anything crazy.
And you're also getting manipulated in a lot of these pass rush situations. There were 3 or 4 times where they are only rushing 4, and yet you have a back one-on-one.
Yep.
Like, you have to have some sub rules in place to take care of that. It is ridiculous that you would have 5 offensive linemen blocking 3, and then you have Josh Williams out there on an island trying to, like, what do you do? How many resources are you going to waste? And this is now probably the 3rd week in a row in which we've talked about this, opposing coaches manipulating your pass pro rules into situations where you are wasting bodies, and they are creating advantageous matchups. They got to get it fixed. Got to get it fixed.
You're right about that. There was multiple times where you could see the back on a, it was like a guy coming off the edge or whatever, and you had 3 guys kind of just sitting there looking for
airplane
something.
arm.
Yeah, looking
guys,
for work.
If the mic backs off, turn back. What? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So it was an awful night for the offensive line. Truly awful. And I'm not even as high. I do feel you on the tackle play. It's definitely still good. And a lot of times it's pressure up the interior that is screwing everything up, because tackles are running guys around like you're supposed to, but there's no pocket integrity. Sometimes Nuss has the ability to step up, but he's lost trust in the ability to step up.
And I can understand. I really can. I can understand why he's gotten there, because it's right now in the A gap and you're trying to make a play. But also in this league, you're not going to be able to do the whirly bird.
Hell no, you got to step
out,
up. You got to
roll left, because that puts Will Campbell in a bad spot. The chance for disaster goes up by
fumbles
100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to play. And now that it's become his move on film, like, that is something where if I'm a rusher, I know that. I know if there's pressure, all I got to do is continue to go up the field and contain, because he's going to try to do, you know, the spin out to the left. That's just, this league's too fast.
So I do agree with you. I agree a lot of it is on us. You have to step up anyway. And look at what he did. Look at the Aaron Anderson touchdown.
Yeah.
One of the few times in which he climbed the pocket and he got hit, and it was messy, but it allowed him to get the throw off. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.